We're on.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. We don't want to small talk too much before.
I know. Then they lose getting this natural vibe.
Exactly. So you said this is your first podcast.
First ever.
Mine too.
Yeah. Not first I've listened to.
Yeah.
I pride myself in listening to a lot of podcasts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is your favorite podcast?
Oh, I'm trying to think. I like the true crime.
Yeah.
Crime Junkies. Have you listened to that one?
No.
No? They like go through a different murder or missing person every episode. It's pretty
interesting.
Fun. It's good. Yeah.
Any of those that stick out in your mind?
Oh gosh, all the ones from Seattle, because that's where I was. And they like have a theme on their podcast, I swear, that's like all the crazy people come from Washington.
Yeah.
It's kind of true. Lots of murders happen there. Green River Killer, Josh Powell.
I wonder if it's the weather.
I think so. People are depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take more vitamin D, people from Seattle.
Exactly. That's the lesson that we're learning here.
Yep. Vitamin D or
and work
you'll
out.
Be a murderer.
Yeah. Or you'll be a murderer.
Yeah.
It's in their blood.
That's crazy. What about besides true crime?
So I love life coaching stuff. So Jody Moore, I think I've talked about her to you a little bit. She's like LDS life coach, but mostly her I think her podcast is called Better Than Happy. It's very good. Talks all about thought work. So thoughts control your feelings, which control your the way you show up in your life, So it all starts in the head.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Everything's perception,
Yeah. And that's
my life is so hard. And it's like, well, or go to Haiti and see how hard their life is.
Yeah. And it's really all the way we think about our hard things too. Like one person can look at a circumstance and be like, think of it one way, and somebody can see it completely opposite. And so, she even gives the example one time about like a car accident, like we think it's naturally by nature a bad thing, but it's actually neutral. It's the thoughts that we put around it that decide, maybe that car got totaled and now you get a brand new car. Yeah. It's even better, it's kind of, all how you think about something.
Yeah. Or you got in that car wreck, and if you wouldn't have gotten in that one, a mile down the road, you would have hit a moose.
Yeah, totally. So you just never know. You could always change the way you think, which will change the way you show up in your life.
Yeah.
So
how long ago did you start listening to stuff like that?
7 years.
Yeah.
7 years ago. Yeah. I was kind of going through some hard, this is weird, but jealousy stuff with just some friends, and feeling like I wasn't enough or this or that. And that was almost like a godsend. It just was something I found that totally changed the trajectory of my life and helped me, not just with not feeling jealous or whatever. The funny thing is even saying that I used to be jealous, that there was a time that was such a shameful thing.
Yeah.
I was like, I would never have admitted that I was experiencing jealousy because I put so much judgment around the word jealousy, you know?
For sure.
And now I can just see that that's part of my human nature. We all have good and bad traits. And at that time, that was one that I struggled with. And I still can see myself at times have that creep in, but now I know how to work around it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. So I could talk I could talk all that kind of stuff all day long.
We have all day.
We have all day. the 6-hour podcast.
The longest I've done is 3 hours and 15 minutes. Or 3 hours and 20. And it's funny because the SD card only did 3 hours and 25 minutes. And so we were cutting it close.
Who was that with? Matt?
It was Matt and John Feldmo. And it was talking conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That I know. That's a fun one too.
We were eating progressively hotter hot wings as we talked conspiracy theories. But the hot wings were kind of a letdown. We didn't get any super, super hot ones.
Okay. So I gotta flip the script and ask, are we gonna get stuck with masks again?
Oh, I'm not.
You're not?
Yeah, I'm not.
Me either.
Nope. No, it's the whole fool me once thing, right?
Yep.
Last time, the state said, got to shut your business down. So we did it. And I feel like us and many other people were completely duped.
Yep.
And I will not do it again.
I know. I actually was talking to a friend yesterday, and I was like, I hope to God that if they do what they did last time, that there's enough people who realize that they were fine. Everything was fine, Yep. But then again, last time I was shocked at how many people just blindly were like, well, they said it's a rule. They said.
Yep.
And I think if we could just help people realize it's not a rule. It's a suggestion.
For sure.
That is a bad one,
And truly, if I believed that masks work and vaccines were the answer, and if you can actually show me the evidence and and I see it, then okay, cool.
Yeah.
Still an individual's decision, but I will go along with that if it's actually helping.
Right.
But
Right.
it didn't.
No.
And then I weigh, let's say, physical health and the health of our nation and the principles that it was founded on. And I'm willing to let my health wane a little bit to continue freedom.
Absolutely. Well, and the irony on that is if we are talking health, which is what people want to preach, masks are for your health. How many of those mask wearers are living a healthy lifestyle?
Absolutely.
Like here we get into this 2-year bubble where it's like, we're just being healthy. And I'm like, how about we try being healthy the other 80 years of your life, and that will help those 2 years of, high virus rates or whatever.
Yep. There was some TikTok video, and I wish I could just say it exactly how this guy said it, but he was essentially saying if you exercise 3 to 5 times a week and you sleep 8 hours a night, and went through all these statistics on what it does to your health, he's like, man, it's like I'm wearing 15 masks. I'm doing so good. I don't even need to wear a mask. Because I'm doing so. And you're like, okay, it's a funny video, but at the same time, he's eating right. He's healthy. Sleeping. Give me COVID.
Right.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
Let me get natural immunity.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's, what so many people fail to realize is that it might make you really sick if you're obese, if you're diabetic, if you have these other things that you were already sick, you were already sick and now it's just gonna, catastrophize that a little bit more. But for the bulk of us, we're fine.
Totally. And we live a fine line and a weird line as health coaches because we want people to be as healthy as possible.
Right.
So we preach meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar, keep exercise levels to a point where you can sustain exercise but not body fat. We want to see good, healthy blood markers, cholesterol in the right ranges, testosterone, estrogen. We want to see everything where it needs to be.
Right.
So then you have the flip side where you have an entire medical establishment that is pushing, I hate to say it, but pushing an agenda. And we actually can't say, hey, don't wear a mask. Hey, don't get a vaccine. Don't do this. Don't do that. We still have to leave it up, obviously, which I'm happy with because that's freedom.
That's agency.
Leave it up to the individual. But I can tell you what I'm going to do.
Right.
Not that I'm right. I think I'm right, but, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. And I really do, I think, like you said, as health and life, or not life coaches.
Oh, we're totally life coaches.
We are. I mean, kind of, right? Yeah. Your health and your lifestyle is your life. And it's amazing how much the fitness and nutrition side of things carries into your mental health,
Absolutely.
They're hand in hand. And so, I think that we work so hard in our jobs and in our fields to just help people realize stick with this. Your life will get so much better. Your health will be so much better. And people can do it for a tiny bit. And then they are well, they flip to the other side where I'd rather take a medication. Yeah. That's an easy fix, right? Maybe not easy because it's never easy to do anything that's uncomfortable, but it's kind of that pick your hard, right? Totally. It's not always fun to take medications and things like that, but it's not always fun to get to the gym every day, but you pick your hard, and going to the gym is hard. Eating healthy is hard, but the flip side is also very, very hard. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I know an individual who lost his mother about 3 months ago, and about 2 months ago wrote my brother and I and said, hey, I saw where my parents got, and that was really hard for them. So I need to do something hard right now so that I'm not doing that hard.
Right.
And I'm like, man, good job.
Yeah.
So good.
Right.
Flipped his nutritional life around. Started eating mostly real food. Instead of desserts, he's getting berries and fruit off of his trees.
Which is hard.
It is hard.
It's we're conditioned to enjoy treats and
stopping at Maverick and getting a burrito
or Brittany. A soda or I'm just kidding. I'm more stopping at Maverick and getting a donut.
Yeah. Oh, I walked into the meeting down there. They were having a front desk meeting. They had donuts.
Oh, yum.
Oh, that smells.
I know. Well, hey, we always need to have an occasional donut here and there, but
which we're advocates of.
Yeah.
If I tell myself I'm not eating, I did a 3-day fast this week.
Cool.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
and awful.
It was awful. As soon as I told myself I'm not eating for the next 72 hours,
You wanted it all.
I wanted it immediately.
Always.
I wasn't
happens.
hungry. I had just eaten, and I'm like, okay, fast starts now. I want a cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
So weird.
Isn't it so weird? Our brains are so powerful because it's like when you tell yourself no, then you want it. Hence the reason, you know, in CrossFit and in like, especially if you're lifting moderate to heavy weights, the goal is that you shouldn't have to stop eating all the foods
Exactly.
that you love. Obviously, you can't just sit and eat cinnamon rolls every day, but like you can eat pizza once in a while. You can eat a burger. You can, carbs are, you know, it's amazing. Like for so long, the mentality was like 0 carbs, you know, like no carbs, no carbs, no carbs. I remember through college, it was like all these diets of like, we don't eat carbs. We've cut all bread out, all this. And I'm like, I mean, we need carbs to perform
Yeah.
good, you know, quality exercise. Do we need as many carbs as we take in? Probably not.
Yeah.
But like learning how to find that balance, I think is really important for long. Anyway, I feel like we're going.
Oh no, that's how it goes. And it's great. It all like, I don't know. Gordon B. Hinckley once said, generally things work out. That's what podcasts are.
Yeah.
You just go all over the place and then it just all falls in line.
Okay.
You listen to the greats. You listen to, sorry. One second. She's really sweet.
She's like the nicest
Yeah.
person I've ever
She's
met.
so great.
And on top of
Yeah.
everything.
Maybe I'll marry her. We are talking about my wife, just so everyone knows.
Yeah. Not somebody else that walked into the
Weird thing just happened. there.
podcast room. No, shout out to Kira for being the best person.
I totally agree.
Very well-rounded person.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure God was like, okay, Tyler, you're going to do some pretty crappy things in your life unless you have this.
Oh,
So
no.
here she is.
You guys probably are the perfect balance for each other.
Yeah, probably. But very grateful for her.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, podcasts, they just go all over the place. Even the greats, Joe Rogan, you'll start to listen and they'll go down this certain path and then it's all over the place for 3
Yes.
hours and then it just,
Yeah.
it ends up perfect.
It does. It ends up exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So where were you born?
Oh, we're going that far back.
going that far back.
I was born in Bellevue, Washington.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Washington is your roots.
Washington is my roots,
Okay.
but it's not my blood.
Yeah. Yeah. Where is your blood?
My blood is South East Idaho.
Cool.
Only because I love Washington. It's beautiful. And old Washington, how it was growing up, I'd say it was manageable.
Yeah.
But it's gotten a little too crazy there hence the reason we moved to Southeast Idaho.
Yeah.
So my husband, for those who don't know, because you don't know me, my husband and I, we moved to Rexburg a year ago, and it was mainly triggered during the pandemic. That's what like set us up to be like, okay, we can't raise our kids here anymore. Our family was all there. Actually, some of them are in Utah, but our parents are there. We had a great group of friends. We owned 2 homes there, you know, a lot of things. And we kind of said, all right, either we just commit to staying here and like trudging through this with our kids, like sending them to public school. Cause I'm not a homeschool mom. Like as much as I would love to have been like, we can pull them out, we can do this. Like that's just not me. And so mainly we just wanted our kids to have kind of that old fashioned school experience where, you know, they weren't getting indoctrinated with crap.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And so we did 1 year public school there. It was just my daughter's kindergarten year. And it was like, even in kindergarten, there were things that I was like, yeah, we can't. So, so we bought some land in Idaho and we are building a home and we plan to be here. This is our blood.
And your home is beautiful.
Thank you.
You guys are doing such a great job.
Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, born in Washington, raised in Washington till I was 18. And then I came back to BYU, Idaho, here in Rexburg. So that's kind of where I found my love for this.
Wait, came back to? Or
Well, no,
came
sorry, came to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not back to. Came to
cool.
BYU,
I
Idaho.
thought maybe you're like a kid prodigy that came.
Yeah, I came here when I was 12. No, I came here, did a few years in school, and in exercise science was my major, and then went on a mission. When I was 22, I was an old missionary, like the old grandma missionary. Got home from that, came back to school, and was also old as a college student, 24 in Rexburg.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're really...
Yeah, like, what are you doing wrong in your life?
Yeah.
No,
Right?
just kidding.
No, seriously, that's how it felt. And then met my husband back in Washington over the summer.
Cool.
Before my last semester, yeah. So, and then we got married. He already owned a house there.
Yeah.
So we were like, jumped right into a house and did the whole married thing there for 8 years. And now we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
That's
awesome.
the short version.
So he's also from Washington?
He's from Washington.
Roots there?
Yeah, he had never actually lived anywhere else until we moved here.
Cool.
And he loves it here. It's so funny. Like, I was worried about who would like it more because I had been here and I was like, oh, I don't know. He's like, this is going to be a huge change. I'd say he loves it more.
Yeah.
He loves it here. So, you know, I guess it was meant to be.
There is something about this area.
I know. But, you know, it's the best kept secret.
Yeah.
Because if too many people, like, I think the winters are a natural deterrent.
Yeah.
So that not too many people
Which is
come.
great.
It's great.
Yep.
Because if people knew how amazing it is here, it would be as big as Utah. You know, it'd be like Utah.
Yeah. Now, that being said, it's not that amazing here. Okay,
Yeah, it sucks
everybody?
here.
It's not great. It's not great.
Honestly, you don't want to come here. It gets to like -10.
Oh, see, she is
Oh,
amazing.
Kira brought us donuts.
And water.
Great.
Thank
Now
you.
everybody can hear us
Yeah.
like eating donuts as we
Thank
talk.
you, Kira. Yeah.
funny.
And just proved us right on what we said about her.
Yeah, about her being awesome and about CrossFitters eating donuts.
Yes, exactly. Now, the only reason why we can do this is because let's see how many calories I burned during that workout. Just did. Last activity. This donut's less than 300 calories, right?
We'll say that.
Yeah. I'm eating hypocalorically this
That's
year.
right.
Or
And-
this year.
and-
Only today.
And we just like heightened our metabolism, right?
Yes.
Like we heightened,
Oh, yeah.
that's not the right word, but like spiked it up.
Yep. So, good principle to know. The anabolic window. This is disputed by some people, but the fittest people know that this is a true principle. It's not saying that I'm the fittest person, but the anabolic window of gains. Do you remember Barbell Shrugged back in the day?
No.
So, great podcast back in the day.
Your back in the day might be a little, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah. That's true. I do have male pattern baldness, and hair is starting to grow out of my ears and nose instead of on the top of my head. So Barbell Shrugged, it was kind of original OG Olympic weightlifting / CrossFit type of stuff. And my favorite episode that they had was called The Anabolic Window. And it's where really if you exercise very intensely
Yeah.
for a certain amount of time, and who knows exactly what that time is for you or for me, that you then have a certain amount of time where you can eat almost anything that you want, and it will just go to glycogen replenishment
Right.
instead of
Fat
body
storage,
fat.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's a true principle. So intra workout carbohydrate is extremely important.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes more important when we get down to a body fat percentage where your body can't use that fat because it doesn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So people, like you were talking earlier, you eat low carb and they're like, man, I just feel sluggish. Like, yeah, you do. Try an intra-workout carbohydrate, like sugar inside of your drink, inside of your protein shake. And all of a sudden they're like, I have more energy than I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because
Yeah.
you're fueling yourself.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. It's learning when to eat your carbohydrates, and obviously, right before bed is probably not the time to eat this donut.
Yeah, that is
like,
a good donut.
Is it a good donut? Probably Brolem's. They have the best donuts.
I think it was Brolem's. Yeah, I remember seeing the box.
Brolem's donuts trump Walmart donuts.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's local versus national chain.
Yeah, right. Nobody out there knows Brolem's probably.
No. Like all the people listening to this on Teton CrossFit, they're like, oh yeah,
Brolem's.
Love that place. That's where we also get raw milk, which is the second favorite episode that I had from Barbell Shrugged. Drink raw milk.
Oh yeah.
It has growth hormone in it.
Yeah. Yeah, we drink raw milk. Our friends have a farm and they pumped it straight from their cow and gave it to us. And I got to tell you though, Kyle and I were a little wigged out at first.
Oh,
like
yeah.
we were like, this came straight from the
Yeah.
like it was like a mind barrier that
Yeah.
we had to get over of like this came straight from the cow.
Yeah, it is crazy.
It's weird.
It's never been weird for me just because I grew up with it.
Yeah.
We would milk goats at my neighbor's house.
And just like
And we just squirt it into our mouth. which yes is probably gross.
I mean,
but squirting it straight from an
it's
udder
actually
into your
very
mouth,
natural.
Yeah, yeah. It actually, I don't want to say bothers me because I don't get bothered at a lot. But when people are like, "We're the only species of animal that drinks somebody else's milk," I'm like, because we know how to milk a cow.
Yeah.
So they've probably done that for thousands and thousands of years. It's not like it's just, in the 21st century, we're like, hey, sweet, let's drink cow milk.
Right. It's a thing. Like, humans are able to actually milk it. A cow can't go milk a goat and drink its milk.
Yeah.
We've digressed.
Yes. Mountain lions probably do, but not that they milk it. They just eat into the udder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. See?
Gross.
So we're not the first.
Yeah, you're right. All right. Well.
Yeah.
Good things.
Follow us for more nutritional advice.
Donuts and eating cow udders.
So what got you down the path of exercise physiology?
Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I started college with the intent to be a nurse. And then I realized that I just was not I don't want to say dedicated. I'm a very dedicated person. I wasn't passionate enough about that topic to do what I had to do to get into the nursing program. And so then as I was a college student, that's when I got really into exercise. Like, I had played soccer all growing up. I was a big time club soccer player, played water polo, ran track, very athletic. But it wasn't until I got into college that I kind of started lifting weights and helping other people be fit. I got to do some personal training as a student and things like that. And there was nothing more gratifying, as you probably know, than taking somebody and watching them learn how to feel confident and feel good and feel empowered by just moving their body, you know? And so, I did exercise science. And then after I graduated, I kind of stopped. I worked for a podiatrist for a while. And then I had babies. And then after I had my second, I actually got invited to come to a CrossFit class. Well, I started running Spartans. Have you done a Spartan?
I have not, but I will.
Dude, they're so fun.
Yeah.
So fun. So I started running Spartans, and I would get out there and I could do basically everything, but I couldn't climb the rope. They have a rope climb. And I was like, how am I going to learn to climb a rope? I was the kid in PE who could never climb a rope. And so my friend was like, you need to come to CrossFit. They'll teach you to climb a rope. So I walk as a coach now, I laugh at myself as like a brand new CrossFitter, because I walked in the first day. I walked up to the coach and I said, can you teach me to climb the rope? And she's like, sure, totally. And so first day she got the rope down. We weren't even doing rope climbs in the workout, but great coach. She got the rope down and she taught me and I climbed it right there. And
awesome.
I was like, okay, I guess see you later, CrossFit. No, just kidding. No, and then I was like, okay, what else can I learn to do? And then they're doing handstands, and it became kind of this oh my gosh, look at this jungle gym that I get to play on, because I'm kind of a big kid at heart, and so it was like, what else can I challenge myself to learn to do that I have never been able to do before? And that's been kind of the catalyst for keeping me going. And then obviously coaching just kind of was a byproduct of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I love that.
I know.
It really is though. CrossFit, we're jump roping the other day and learning double unders, and everyone's just kind of having fun. It's like we're on a playground right now.
We are. But we lose that as adults sometimes. Yeah. We grow up as kids, and this is something I've thought about a lot. We grow up as kids playing. That is our basis for our life. We ride bikes. We go find friends and hang out outside. We make believe. We climb on jungle gyms. And then somehow, as we age, we become so much more, we sit. We go to school. School kind of does that to us, right?
For sure.
We sit. We go to a desk job, which, again, nothing wrong. We have to have those things, right? But we watch TV because we're tired, and we lose the art of being able to play.
Yeah.
And CrossFit kind of brings that back out in people, which is why I think it's such a phenomenon. So many people have taken to it, because I think it takes us back to something that's innate, which is that need to climb and play and move and wiggle and all those things. So
and then the community aspect. We had a guy come today that he's come a lot in the past, but he had an injury and was in some pain, so he hasn't come in a little while. He comes today and PRs a bench press.
Yeah.
And Coach Daniel was like, He's the guy that doesn't come for 2 months and then comes back in PRs and everyone's cheering for him. Yep. Everyone's excited. You got a PR today.
I did.
Everyone's cheering. Everyone's excited.
It's so fun.
It is fun.
It is. And that's what, that's why I keep coming is the entertainment side of it. You know, if we can, anybody can go to a gym and work out. You can go to Anytime Fitness and walk on the treadmill with your AirPods in. But here we come, we talk about life. Yeah. We know each other's families, you create this little community that sustains you through everything else going on in your life. You can know for like 1 hour a day, I'm going to go to this place. My friends will be there. We can talk about lots of things. They can give me advice. I mean, you don't know how many things I've learned from people at the gym, Sure. Things about taxes, about house building, about, all these things that you just get to talk to people about while you're here. Yep. And you're benefiting your health. Like, it's like so many things that kind of...
And benefiting benefiting a lot of areas of health.
Right.
Because mental health is a big one. Mm-hmm. Physical health, emotional health. I mean, we were talking about Daniel's dog today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, what did you guys do at CrossFit? We talked about someone's dog.
I know.
And we all felt good about it.
Yeah.
And
I know. And we also just like joke around, like I was laughing with Michelle. Michelle's the girl who was here today. We were the only two girls. It was the bro sesh at the gym. We were
other than you lifted more weights than those guys.
That's flattering, but yeah, it's I did not, just to be clear. But me and Michelle were just laughing because there's all these dudes and we were benching and we were like, it's the bro group today. Like, very rarely do we have more men than women, I feel like, in a class. Yeah, but it was fun to kind of see all the guys.
Yeah, especially that time of day.
Yeah, 9 a.m. class. That's what happens in a small town, I guess. Yeah. Get lots of self-employed people. Yeah. And
people. And it's cool. I mean, I know there's a specific class where one guy started to go to it because he's like, hey, I want to network with some of these guys. Yeah. They're all business owners. Mm-hmm. I want to be a business owner. Mm-hmm. Started doing it and has gotten to a really good place right now.
It's so cool.
It really is.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, so much more, like you said, there's so many more benefits than just your health. And the social aspect, I think, is huge for so many people. Kind of like my girls' night class.
Yes, your girls' night class is amazing. It's been so much fun to see.
Did you like how I segued into that?
I did. I liked it a lot. It's just been really cool to see, you had the idea and then you made it happen.
Yeah.
And then watching it grow and watching people excited and seeing people that haven't been to the gym in a while.
Or ever.
That are coming, that are coming back. And yes. Tell us about Girls Night.
Yeah, no, you did a great job there. So, Girls Night is a class that I started in February. So, gosh, what are we at? I don't know how to do math. 6 months?
Yeah, 6 months.
6 months ago. And it's a women's only class. It's only 2 nights a week. So, Mondays and Wednesdays, and it's 8:30 to 9:30. So, after our normal classes. And I kind of made it at that time because I've found that in our community specifically, we have a lot more stay-at-home moms. Mm-hmm. And so I think because a lot of husbands are at work during the day and moms are home with their kids, they just don't maybe have as much flexibility to make it to the gym during the day. And so I was like, let's do something a little later. So we know husbands are home, moms can come, leave for an hour. And then I wanted it to be a safe place. Not that men aren't safe. We all know, I love working out with the guys downstairs. Yeah. Almost sometimes I enjoy that as much as women. Yeah. But, when you're a first timer and you are maybe like a little bit uncertain on how to move your body and things like that, there's this stigma sometimes that comes around CrossFit of like these beefy guys. Yeah. Or these jacked women who are just like throwing weights around and dropping barbells. And I think that can be intimidating for some. Men and women, but my target audience obviously was women. And so we made it women exclusively, 2 nights a week. And so it's kind of it's a class where you have to enroll, you get a spot. And so it's the same girls every week and they work out together. They've built a really great community, which is one thing we talked about. Yeah. And what's been fun is I hear a lot of feedback of like, this has helped my mental health more than you'll ever know. And women who, had babies 2 months ago or 5 months ago or a year ago who are like, my postpartum has been so bad. And this class, I've made new best friends. I feel so empowered. I never knew I could do this, things like that. as a coach, you get it. That's something that just, it makes me smile just talking about it, because it's so gratifying. So that's girls' night in a nutshell. Awesome. And we do basically everything in it is CrossFit. I didn't market it as CrossFit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, like we talked about, that gets in people's heads. And so I just marketed it as a women's strength training class. But you better believe everything that we do is functional movements. And so, yeah.
Well, it's been really fun to watch. I'm excited to see the future of it.
Yeah, you came the other night.
Yeah,
first time.
so great.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good group. We've got about...
I didn't participate, just so
you could have.
But I did get a great video.
Yeah, we've got about, consistently, a class will have about 18 to 24 women.
So cool.
Which we get snug, but...
Yeah, for sure.
They make it work.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I love that kind of stuff. I mean, honestly, anything that we can do ever to reach more people.
For sure.
Which I know is important to you.
Yeah. Well, our motto at the gym, we rise by lifting others, and the impact that we can have on others is very, very great. I believe the personal example that we can give is really what is the best.
Yeah.
So yes, I did finish my donut way before you. You haven't even touched it.
It's not because I don't want to eat it. It's because I can't talk and eat.
It's actually good for me because I'm a talker. So for me to have something that keeps my mouth occupied was perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love how you're using CrossFit, but not marketing it as CrossFit. So I do the same with the individuals that I coach. So, coach a lot of military, SWAT, some professional athletes in weird areas like bull riding and stuff like that. And then some stay-at-home moms and some different people. I never say, hey, I'm going to program individual CrossFit workouts.
Right.
But they all do individual CrossFit workouts.
Yeah.
And all of them are like, man, I'm in so much better shape than I've ever been in my entire life. Like, oh, I wonder why. High intensity functional movement that's constantly varied.
I know.
Interesting.
Well, isn't it funny? This is not like an anti-CrossFit comment, but all I'm going to say is CrossFit isn't some like magical creation. It's all they did was take gymnastics and weightlifting and some other key exercise movements like burpees and things like, some running, cardio, and mesh them together.
Exactly.
And give it a name.
Yep.
Like CrossFit in and of itself has only been around for what, 13?
Yeah, it was
2000, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think CrossFit.com got started just in the early 2000s.
Yeah, so not very long.
That old, 20 years.
Yeah, but these movements have been around much longer. Yeah, and so it's not something like CrossFit is this magical thing. I mean, it is amazing because what they did was they started putting out gyms where you have classes with a coach. I think that's brilliant. Yeah. But the movements in and of themselves, if done well and right, are going to change somebody's life. And we don't have to call it CrossFit,
Sure. No, I agree with you. Honestly, there are some things, and same thing, not a bash on CrossFit, kind of a bash on people that don't truly understand CrossFit.
Right.
So even me eating a donut on here, I'm like, someone's going to listen to this and they're going to be like, what are you doing as a gym owner on a podcast?
Oh God.
Eating a donut. Like, I can't believe that. It says no sugar.
I know.
And you're eating a donut.
There'll always be a critic.
There will. But interestingly, there's probably not a games athlete out there that doesn't eat the occasional donut. There's not the healthiest person in the world that occasionally... Now, there are outliers, right? There's Sean Baker. He's a carnivore doctor who's eaten carnivore for like 6 years. Yeah. Stan Efferding, world's strongest bodybuilder. He just doesn't touch this crap.
Yeah.
He just eats his... But outliers.
Outliers.
On the outside of outliers, everybody does.
And
it's okay. Like, if I tell myself I'm never going to have a donut again, I'm going to eat a lot of donuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. I follow a lot of CrossFitters on Instagram. It's funny. When I open up my Instagram, it's literally like CrossFit Games, CrossFit, and then, Matt Frazier. Like, it's that's my Instagram feed. Yeah. But I don't know if you're familiar with Sarah Sigmund's daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Love her. She's like one of my faves. And her thing is she always has cereal, like little bags of And you'll see her like on the bike, and then she's eating her sugar cereal, and I'm like, look at that, she's
workout
a
carbohydrate
beast, and she's eating sugar cereal.
Yep.
So I mean, not that we should all be like, well, sugar cereal is the new standard for being an amazing athlete, but I do like to know that there's balance.
For sure.
And that's, if you're not balanced in your nutrition, you'll also probably start to not be balanced in your mental health.
Yeah.
Because people have to like feel like they have a little bit of grace in their life, you know.
Absolutely.
Perfectionism is not a healthy mindset for most people.
Yeah. And digging deep into CrossFit and Greg Glassman and the philosophy, the idea isn't you can't ever have sugar.
Right.
The idea is we don't need to be hyperinsulinemic.
Right.
Which means, an excessive amount of insulin in our blood because we're eating so much sugar that our pancreas just continues to kick out insulin. So a lot of times we will measure blood sugar, but what we should be doing is measuring blood insulin levels, which is never tested.
No.
But our blood sugar might be low all the time, or at least moderate all the time, because our pancreas is kicking out a whole bunch of insulin.
Yeah.
Well, it's hyperinsulinemia that ends up being the major issue.
Yeah.
So, Greg's like meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. But the key is don't be hyperinsulinemic. So
right.
Is a little bit of sugar okay? Yes.
Yeah.
Is sugar at the right time even better? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with Greg.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff.
# I stand with Greg.
I stand with Greg. # Greg if you're listening. We're not bashing on CrossFit.
No, I'm sure Greg's listening too. Like, anyone is listening to the podcast. So.
Shout out Greg Glassman.
He lives about an hour away from us.
No way.
He's in Jackson.
Stop it.
Yeah. When he sold CrossFit for like $900 million.
Yeah.
I think he took a little bit of that and built a house.
Is he coaching?
So he's doing the Broken Science Initiative, which is really great. In fact, like that's one I would very much suggest for people to go follow.
The Broken
Science Initiative.
It's a podcast?
It is more an Instagram.
Oh, okay. You said follow, so like,
oh, yeah,
how are we following?
Yeah. Let me go look at it really quick so that I'm not saying anything false here. Broken Science Initiative. So when predictive value is replaced by consensus, science becomes nonsense. Let's start with the truth. Co-founded by Greg Glassman and Emily Kaplan. So you can go brokenscience.org and you can find out more about it from there. Here's the weird thing. You follow accounts that have like 1 million followers. You're like, oh, let's listen to what they say. Well, this has 4,600 followers.
Dang, that's not very many.
Like, I hope this doesn't sound arrogant, but I have more followers, which is weird to me because trust this way more than you trust me. So
followers does not equal credibility.
No, it really doesn't, because this is good stuff. Modern science and its postmodern debasement. Modern science is the source and repository of objective knowledge. Knowledge silos in models graded and ranked by predictive strength. Models are a forecast of measurement. Anyways, it's just so good. So good. And so he's just going through broken science and then teaching us the real science.
Yeah.
Which, kind of back to the beginning. We take people at their word and maybe change our entire life or shut down our business because somebody said.
Oh, yeah.
Well, who's that somebody? Do they have an agenda? Interestingly, Greg Glassman's agenda is help people.
Right.
And I truly believe that.
And he has helped millions of people.
Yep. Yeah. And did he sell CrossFit for a lot of money? Absolutely.
As he should have.
As he should have.
Because
exactly.
Any great thought should be valuable,
Yep.
Yep.
And I don't believe he's using that money and it doesn't matter even if he is. He's not out on a beach and just partying it up and everything like, hey, sweet. No, he's out for free doing Broken Science Initiative stuff. He's talking with physicians. He's getting physicians together and saying, hey, let's actually talk consensus here. What is the science?
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check that out.
It's really good stuff.
Yeah. And so what, he just are all his posts different things that he's working on?
Yeah, and different sciencey stuff. Yeah, another good one that is him, and I don't know if it's like a book that's coming out or if it's a documentary or something, but it's called The CrossFit Book. And so that's a good one to follow.
Cool.
Kind of shows where Greg's going, what he's doing. So he went to the games this year.
He did.
It's cool.
I know.
He told whoever's doing the CrossFit book, like the videos and stuff, he said, I think I need to go to the games this year. And it's because I think the affiliates need to
see me.
Well,
yeah, I mean, I don't want to bash CrossFit.
No. I mean, here's the great part about CrossFit. We pay them an affiliate fee, so I can do anything I want.
True. Yeah, exactly. But I think that we've seen like this shift in kind of CrossFit going from traditional CrossFit to something a little different in the movements, in what's expected of the athletes. And, you know, to some extent, we always want to be seeing it progress, because otherwise it gets boring and we get stagnant, and like there's always going to be somebody who raises the bar. On the other hand, we don't want to lose what made CrossFit, you know, Olympic lifting and toes to bar and muscle ups and, you know, and pull ups and handstand walks and those sorts of things that were like kind of the, I mean, OGs of CrossFit. And now you're seeing crisscross jump rope and pullovers and all this stuff that's kind of like, okay, well, so maybe, you know, Glassman coming in, hopefully he'll keep them reined in. Like, please don't totally change what, I mean, functional movement is what we're striving for, right?
It is so interesting, though, because you say that, and I do agree with you.
Yeah.
But if it would have been Dave Castro standing there, and he goes, 23.2 is double under crossovers, everyone would have been like, whoa, sweet, that's amazing. But then he would have given a reason why. We're doing this because of this.
Exactly.
And it's awesome. I want to see rock climbing in the games.
I know. We've talked about this. I mean, rock climbing is kind of a functional movement, right? Like, what if you're stuck on a cliff?
Exactly.
And you need to climb it?
Yeah.
I mean,
who is not presented with that in their lifetime?
Well, to be fair, like, I do find a lot of times where the things I've learned in rock climbing, I've taken into other parts of my life. That sounds so silly, but like,
no, it's true.
You know, I used to think rock climbing was all upper body, and then you realize you use your legs a lot.
Yeah.
So there have been times where I've been on a platform or something trying to reach something, and I'm like, okay, use your legs more, you know? So there is some carryover.
Yeah. Or getting out of a pool.
Yeah.
Why do I need a muscle up in my life? Well, because you need to muscle yourself up out of a swimming pool.
Then why is it that I can so easily get out of the pool?
Because you can use your legs.
I know.
Dang it.
I'm just teasing.
We need to design some pools with some rings in it.
I know. That would be cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Okay. That's our new business idea. We're going to kickstart this on Kickstarter and crowdfund.
Oh my goodness.
3 months.
Kickstarter's the way to go.
Yeah.
People get some, oh man, Kyle just funded a Kickstarter that took off. So we will now be getting our very own game board carrying bag.
Sweet. That's great.
It's a bag that you can put your game boards or like your game, like the boxes in, and carry it to your friend's house when you're going to play games.
Well, I love that because you can't use a normal backpack for that.
No.
You can't use a normal bag to carry anything.
It's like a pizza bag almost.
Yes. I love it.
For your board game.
That's great.
He funded it, and I was like, whatever, this will never take off. We'll never pay the 130. Oh no, we paid the 130 and we're going to get our bag.
Yeah. But see, that is the free market economy.
I love that,
I love
right?
it too. He took a risk, knowing that he took a risk.
Yeah.
Cool. That's great. And now you're getting a product out of it.
Yeah.
A very specialized product.
That
very
he's really
niche
excited
product.
for.
Yeah. I helped fund Whoop.
Oh.
For about
the sleep.
Yeah.
The
for about
sleep
5 years, I had a free Whoop subscription.
Wow.
So you paid for the band and then had Whoop. But then they were like, hey, if you want the new features, you got to pay our monthly.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got too big for...
Yeah.
They got too big for their peasants.
Yes. Yeah. That's why I went to Garmin. I just wear a Garmin now.
Yeah. Yeah. Whoop. I never used it. My old gym used it. They had like not a competition, but like where you could like see everybody in the gyms Whoop for the night. I don't know how it works. I didn't do it, but it's kind of cool.
That is cool. There's a lot of tech out there. There's a lot of things. Yeah. Now, here's what's cool. We can use that tech and we can learn from it and we can grow from it. But when it comes right down to it, real food most of the time. CrossFit.
Yeah.
3 to 5 times a week.
That's right.
Good relationships.
That's right. Good sleep.
Work on your mental health. Good sleep. Life is good.
Yeah. life will still be hard sometimes.
Yes.
But you'll have the tools or the avenues or the outlets to kind of work through some of that, and good spiritual health, I think, is also important to throw into there. Whatever your belief in, like God or greater power or whatever, meditation, things like that, I think are also really important to contributing to mental health and physical health and all of that. So you gotta have a balance, right?
Totally.
So
I agree.
Yeah.
And the world is in a place right now where no matter what people believe, like you said, in God or the universe or higher power or reincarnation, whatever you believe in, there's a battle against that right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we do need to be combating that.
Mm-hmm.
And our mental health and spiritual and emotional health has a lot to do with the body that is carrying those things.
Yes.
And so if we're not taking care of that body, it's much harder. It
is. Yeah. Yeah. It's hard to do the things that you need to do when your body's not cooperating, So, yeah, I agree. Good stuff right there.
Yeah. So just a couple more questions for you.
Yeah.
So when you do CrossFit and you wreck your body, how do you recover?
Well, this is such a great question for me to consider. When do I recover?
Yeah. What if the answer is I don't?
Yeah. What if the answer is I go home and chase kids around? No, just kidding.
Active recovery.
Yeah, it's active recovery. No, I really do focus on getting a good night's sleep. That's really important to me. So, usually I'm in bed by 10 or 11, up by 7. That's kind of my sweet spot. I know everybody's different, right?
Yeah,
like how much
sure.
sleep you function on. And then I am an avid protein eater.
Good.
As of late, I've gotten better at, that's something I've focused a lot more on, is increasing my protein. But I eat pretty regular, like I'm a consistent eater. I do believe in intermittent fasting. I think it's great for me. I just kind of eat throughout the day and I try and eat good things for the most part. I drink a lot of water. I don't really drink a lot of soda. Even my soda that I used to sometimes drink, I've replaced with a water-based drink. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't do anything crazy though. Good sleep, try and have really healthy eating habits for the most part. Could I be better? Absolutely.
Yeah. But do we need to focus on that?
No. Yeah. No. And then obviously other recovery is like you kind of mentioned, I like to take walks. I like to get out and just move, play with my kids, like go to the park, walk around. When I coach, I walk a ton, just being active when I'm not being active. I've found if I kill myself in the gym and then just go lay around, it's way worse.
Yeah.
I feel crappy.
For sure.
If I'm going to kill myself in the gym, I'm going to go live my normal life afterward. And I think that's part of, again, finding balance. If you can't live your normal life afterward, you may be doing something a little too intense.
Use CrossFit to make life better.
Mm-hmm. Not worse.
Yeah.
Now, granted, just to add, like when you get started on any type of exercise routine, you're going to feel sore.
Yeah.
You're going to feel a little like wiped out. It takes time to acclimate to that. But so I don't want people who listen to think like, oh, if I'm sore, I'm working too hard. Or if I'm tired, I'm working too hard. I just think, if it's getting to a point where you can't do your normal life because you're working out too much or too hard, then maybe it's a little too much.
Or I'm continually getting injured.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, we need to take a look at this.
Yeah.
If you're getting injured, we're doing this wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. And knock on wood, my greatest CrossFit injury I've ever had is torn hands.
Oh, yeah. As she has a torn hand right
It's
now.
not torn. It's just a little dry. Oh, yeah. There's just some dry skin from all our toes to bar today. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my answer for that. I just kind of recover.
Yeah. I love that. It just made me think of, I always wanted to be a really good CrossFit competitor.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be so cool to
go to the
do an
games.
RX. That was a little far out. But back in the day, I did think regionals. I was like, I'd love to go to regionals.
Yeah.
Then I started jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, I did CrossFit so that I could do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So that I could do things that I didn't really think I'm not that jiu-jitsu wasn't possible, but like I went into it with an athletic base,
Right.
which was really cool. So, some people go into it not with an athletic base, and then they're working on athleticism as they're working on technique. And all that. I was like, this is why I've done CrossFit.
Totally.
So I can go on hikes with my kids, so that I can play, so I can jump on the trampoline with them. It's pretty cool.
And I love that. It's really very, very, very few people are ever going to go on even to, quarterfinals or, any like it's wonderful if you do.
Absolutely.
And it's a great thing to strive for if that's where you're at in your life and that's your season. But for most people, their season is not that. Most of us don't have multiple hours a day to dedicate to the gym. If we're parents, if we're, working jobs or serving in our church or whatever, it's that balance, like I said. And so it's quality of life that we're really striving for.
Yeah.
And it's that ability to be Greg.
Yep.
Greg, who comes to our gym, I think he's 67. And I had another guy at my old gym. He was like 75. Still in there. I mean, nothing looks as pretty as it could back in the day. Who cares? Like, those guys are fit. And that is, cool. I tell them, they are my goal. They are my goal. Like, I mean, sure, would I love to make quarterfinals? Yes, absolutely. But like, that is ultimately the goal.
Yeah. Now, one individual you were just talking about, he said the other day, he's like, hey, so the games.
I mean,
as a master's athlete. I was like, oh, yes, Greg.
Yes.
You can do that.
He totally, if he set his mind to it, the man is impressive. And his nutrition is on point.
Yeah.
His whole lifestyle is on point.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That is the goal. If you could only do one gymnastics movement and one weightlifting movement for the rest of your life,
what would they be?
What would they be?
Do double unders count as gymnastics?
Yeah, you're using your body. Yeah, it's a single.
You're using your body.
It's a single modality.
I don't think it does. Let's say, okay,
Okay, then let's do this. Gymnastics, single modality, so like double unders, rowing, biking.
Okay.
Ski air game, and strength.
Okay, well, gymnastics is definitely my biggest weakness in CrossFit. So it's been the year of gymnastics for me. I've been working on it a lot. I would probably do, this is going to seem so weird, chest to bar.
Cool.
Only because I like regular pull-ups, but chest to bar for some reason seem just a little bit more fun to me. So chest to bar, and then single modality. Ooh, that's a tough one. And running's in that category too, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, these are where I shine. Running and it'd be a tie. Running and double unders. I like them both.
I just thought you were going to say triathlon, so you could do all three.
Yeah, the triathlon would be my pick. And then Olympic lift. Oh, well, any lift. It would be an Olympic lift for sure. I love the Olympic lifts. Probably snatches.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have said that probably a year and a half ago, but I've been working my snatches, and I really am enjoying a good snatch. But you got to catch it in the squat.
Yes. Yes.
Like, power's fun, but when you land that snatch in a squat and you stick it, there's nothing more, like, nothing feels more bad.
Bad cushy. Yep. We can totally make this an explicit episode.
I had to edit myself because, fun fact.
Did like a...
No, does that make a sound? Like
it was supposed to. Just bad.
Fun. Yeah, that's a fun thing. Fun fact about me. Moving to Rexburg has helped improve my vocabulary.
Well, what it is you don't try to be a different person.
No.
You're yourself.
I am.
And that's something that I know many others appreciate very much about you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Yeah, I maybe sometimes drop a few too many.
I would love to hear you in a church talk.
They never ask me. I'm just kidding. I actually have this joke with Kyle. They're in our old ward, so we're LDS for those who didn't pick up on that. In our old ward, he got asked to speak 3 times before I got asked to speak once. That's awesome. He's just a lot more well-spoken and eloquent, and I just hit the mic. And I just kind of say it how it is up there a little bit. which I think is great about me.
I do think it's great. And that, we need more of that. Yeah.
Sorry, I know we can cut this off.
No,
but
we're great.
all I was going to say to that note is I think that I lost my train of thought. It had to do with church. I don't want to go too churchy, but I do think in communities in general, communities, church communities, whatever, sometimes there becomes a norm that people think they have to fit into, a mold, even in a CrossFit gym, right?
Yes.
Like I remember in my old gym, everyone had tattoos. Everyone drank their beer after class. Like you just get a culture. There becomes a norm. And I think that sometimes when people don't fit into the norm, they think they need to pull out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a very unproductive way to live your life. I think it's good to stand in a place and be different.
Yeah.
And show other people that there's room for differences anywhere. Like we should have variety of appearances and lifestyles and vocabularies and interests and whatever it is. So
yeah,
I feel like that's something I really am passionate about in life, is just no matter who you are and be where you want to be. Like go to church if you're tatted up and you have long hair and you smoke, or you're gay or whatever.
Yep.
Like just do it. Like there's a place for you.
Yeah.
There's a place for the overweight person in the CrossFit gym.
Absolutely.
There's a place for, I don't know. I can't think of any more examples. I ran out, but.
I don't know if I just came up with this term in my mind or if someone else has done it, but free market diversity.
Ah, yeah. Hey.
Free market diversity.
Bringing it
Diversity is awesome. Mm-hmm. If it's free market diversity, it's not forced upon us.
Right. And if it's accepted for all types of diversity.
Exactly.
Because I think in our world, we want to accept certain types of diversity. Like there's certain types that are really niche and okay and cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool to accept people who, I don't want to make any examples.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
But
because
like
everything's going to be perceived.
Right. As like bias or.
You're the most like loving and accepting person that exists. You say something and it's like, boom.
Yeah.
Brittany's.
Yeah. So, but like, there's things that society has said, this is an okay way to be, but if you're religious or if you're conservative or if you're Republican, then you're not accepted.
Yeah. It's so weird.
It is.
But in a good CrossFit gym, you will find free market diversity.
In our gym, there is free market diversity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. And someone comes in with a new tattoo and the class is 75% LDS. And they're like, I love your tattoo. Let me see it. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like, we're here and we're all the same.
Yep.
We're the same but different.
Yeah.
Separate but equal. No, I'm just kidding. We're the same but we're different.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be.
Exactly. Or somebody comes in, like I mentioned, who doesn't look like the rest of the class, for whatever reason. Maybe they're overweight. Maybe they have an injury. Maybe they have a disability. Oh my gosh. I think I told you this. One night I was coaching girls' night and we had the cutest girl over rock climbing. She was in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
And I don't know what her disability was, but she was just a sweet, sweet girl. And she was so invested in the girls doing the CrossFit workout. And she sat there and watched them and clapped. And she kept saying to me, I want to do it. I want to do it. And so I went and grabbed our kids' barbell because we have a little kitty one. And because she was pretty petite and frail. And we helped her hold it. And she shoulder pressed it.
Sweet.
Oh, it was like, this is what it's about. Like this is, if she felt so good about herself. And I'm like, I wish she would have come back. I wish she would come.
We need to find out who it is.
We need to find her.
We'll sponsor her.
I know. She was so cute. I was like, I come back and do class anytime,
Yeah.
So
okay. We need to investigate.
Maybe I'll look for her.
That'd be awesome.
She was a Rexburg local, I think. So yeah, maybe I'll do some sleuthing on social media.
Yeah. I'm sure the gym will sponsor. So that would be so
That's cool. So yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. This was so fun.
It is fun. It's just fun to talk.
Oh,
and
seriously.
It's fun to talk. It's fun to talk with everybody, but you're just a good conversationalist. You're a good person.
Thank you.
It was so funny. When you started at the gym, within like a month, I had several people coming to me and they're like, you need to have her coach. She needs to be coaching at the gym.
Oh, that's so nice.
Well, really cool.
I sometimes am a little outspoken and I'm like, I want to coach.
Oh, that's perfect. The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
But the great coach is also many times squeaky.
That's right.
But also sometimes quiet. Like, that's the great part. Free market diversity, right?
Yeah, and you know, there's somebody. Everybody needs somebody a little bit different. Yeah. So
we have great squeaky coaches. I'm not saying you're a squeaky coach.
I'll be a squeaky coach. It's okay.
And we have great quiet coaches.
Yeah.
And I learn equally from both.
Yes. Yeah.
It's fun.
That's awesome. Well, and we love you.
Oh, well, that's nice. I have a long ways to go, but I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks for everything.
Yeah.
If anyone is listening that has never been to CrossFit, it would be great to start
Come to my class.
with Brittany. With everyone. But we're going to go through each coach, unless they're uncomfortable and don't want to come on, which is totally fine as well. Free market diversity.
The quiet ones.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. They'll want to come on.
Everyone's great, but would definitely recommend
Hitting us up.
trying Brittany out.
Yeah. See you here. Also, listen to my podcast coming next. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, for sure. I hope so.
I'm totally joking.
Plug that, and you're welcome to use this equipment.
I'm just like invested in this podcast experience now.
It's pretty. I know. I feel a little bit bad because I'll take 4 or 5 hours a week and do this, and like none of it's monetized.
No,
we just have fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm selfish. I'm like, it's so good.
Hey,
I love this.
You know what? It's important to do things you love.
Yeah. And then you I never lie to people as far as like, well, I try not to lie to people, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like prefacing this. As far as podcasts go, I don't lie. I'll get on and I'll write someone like Bethany Flores or Sam Dancer. He's going to come on September 10th.
Cool.
And I'm just like, hey, I have a podcast. It doesn't have very many listeners. I have nothing to offer you, but I would love to take an hour of your time.
Aw.
And
I'm sure they're flattered.
it's so cool.
Yeah.
Just the caliber of people that. Now, I did have one guy once, a cryptocurrency guy, and he said, "How many listeners do you have?" And I said, "Well, there's about 7,500 to 8,000 subscribers, just kind of depending on." And he went, "Okay, never mind." And I was like, dude, I don't want to have you on the podcast anyway.
Yeah,
I have no desire to talk to you.
You lost me as a fan.
Yeah, because I'm straight up. Like, hey, I don't have that many listeners. You have 500,000 followers. You're maybe going to get 7,000 listens out of this podcast. You're not gaining a lot of followers out of this.
Oh, well.
And the cool ones are like...
Sounds good. Yeah. I'll be on it. Well, I don't have 7,000 followers.
But you will.
I don't know if I want to. I have my stuff set to private.
Oh, yeah. No, which is good, too. I do find myself sometimes, I will get people that post very negative comments on stuff that I say, and it gets to me.
Yeah, it's that is a podcast conversation.
Yes.
For another day.
Another day.
But you can follow my Girls Night Fitness.
Which you should.
Instagram.
Yep.
That's my hashtag Girls Night Fitness.
Rexburg. Yep.
Check it out.
Yep. Go check it out. And if you are a female,
come check out our class.
Go do it.
All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.